Hi, I am Carla Dennis. I am the founder of KDA, an award-winning tax firm. And in this video, I want to educate you on the 3 ways to file your taxes in 2024. Whether you are a wage earner, an independent contractor, or you are a business owner, you need to file your taxes correctly. And the key word is correctly and on time. Knowing your options ahead of time will help you reduce your overall tax bill. That is why by the end of this video, I want you to be clear on which documentation and filing options are your best scenario. But before we jump in, you already know, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any wealth building information. We cannot afford to. Now, let's get after it. There are 3 ways for you to file your taxes. The first way is do it yourself. This is where you're going to literally get you some tax software. Nobody's doing their taxes manually anymore with forms, so don't even try that trick. You're gonna get some tax software, whether it's TurboTax or some other software. You're gonna get it online. You're gonna actually do your own tax return by putting in all your own information. It's an option, it's inexpensive, and it's something that you can consider. The second option for you is going to be to use IRS Free File. Now, there's a couple of words in there that I want you to consider. IRS and Free File. It is a way for you to file your taxes, and a lot of people use it. In order to use IRS Free File, your income has to be under a certain level. And I believe the threshold right now is about $74,000. But you can go online and you can file your taxes for free. The third thing to consider is use a tax professional. Now, do I always recommend using tax professionals? I do. Why is that? Because tax professionals, that's the key word, professionals. This is what they do on a regular basis. And when you are using a tax professional, you are not going to miss out on any tax deductions. I know a lot of you may be thinking, I can do it myself, but trust me when I tell you, there's so many different tax law changes. There's so many little nuances. There's people that have gone to school for years to know all the tricks and the right way to file your taxes. So when you use a tax professional, their primary job is to make sure you don't forget anything on your taxes and that you reduce your tax bill down to the lowest legal limit. What will you need in order to file your taxes? You have to make sure that you have all of your income together when you're getting ready to file your taxes. Many of you stay confused about this because many times you're looking for a W-2 or you're looking for a 1099. But if you have some type of side hustle going on, you need to figure out what your total income is for your business. For the very first thing that you're going to need to have all of your income so that you can properly report every dime you made so you can be in compliance when it comes time to filing your taxes. Second thing that you're going to need is all of your third-party reporting documents. You may say, hey, Carla, what's a third-party reporting document? This is where your employer sends you a W-2. The W-2 is the reporting document coming from the third party, your employer. This is where you're going to gather all of your 1099s that are going to be coming from vendors that you do work for. Making sure you have all your third-party reporting documents is mission critical. And you want to know why it's mission critical? Because those third-party reporting documents are sent to IRS. So whether or not you have it or don't have it, IRS has it. Therefore, when you file your tax return and you don't report all of your third-party documents, guess what? You're going to get a nasty gram in the mail, maybe a year later, but trust me, it's coming.
It's coming.
So make sure you have all of your third-party reporting documents. And if you're not certain, go online, create an IRS account, because all of your third-party reporting documents should be online in your IRS account. Third thing that you're going to need to make sure that you do is decide whether or not you're going to take the standard deduction or you're going to do itemized deductions. Now, let me explain to you what that is, because this is really important. The standard deduction is where IRS says, okay, taxpayer, we're going to give you a certain amount to deduct from your income, depending on whether you're single head of household, are married filing separately. IRS allocates a dollar amount that they say everybody gets to deduct from their income, and then everything else becomes their taxable income. If you own a home, if you are paying medical bills in excess of a certain percentage of your income, if you're paying property taxes, mortgage interest, you may decide not to take the standard deduction, but to itemize your deductions. Itemizing your deductions, my friends, means that you're going to take the time and look at all of your expenses. You're going to go through your medical bills. You're going to go see how much your state income tax withholding is, how much your property taxes are, how much your DMV fees are, your charitable contributions. And here's the reason why. You are hoping that your itemized deductions, everything you actually spend money on, is going to be larger than the standard deduction that IRS gives you. You always want to check it out and do not rely on it being the same every single year, because things change from one year to the next. The fourth thing I want to make sure that you gather when it comes time to file your taxes is if you are doing any type of side hustle, you want to make sure that you are getting all the income and all the expenses from your side hustles. Many of you think, well, IRS is not going to know about it. They are going to know about it because all of these payment apps now are tracking what it is that you do. So make sure that you are getting all your income. Make sure you're getting all of your expenses, and you put together what I call a profit and loss. Total income generated, total expenses paid. Do not say to yourself, oh, I didn't really make any money off of that, so I don't need to report it. You do need to report it because IRS looks at gross income, the total income that comes in. Then IRS looks at the expenses. So make sure you keep track of your side hustle, income, and expenses. And that will give you everything you're going to need in order to file your income tax return. So we talked about the ways to file. We talked about the items you're going to need in order to properly file. Now, how do you submit that tax return to IRS, right? Because you want to make sure after all of that hard work that IRS actually gets the tax return. The number one way for you to submit your tax return is by e-file, electronically filing your return. This is where you're going to submit your tax return to IRS electronically, and you're going to need to use a third-party software to do that. Right now, IRS does not allow individual taxpayers to connect to them directly. You have to go through third-party software in order to submit your taxes to IRS. But let's say that you don't have that ability to do that. You can still do snail mail. You can still submit your taxes through the mail. But this is the one thing that I want to tell you. If you decide that you're going to mail your taxes in the mail, make sure you file your taxes certified return receipt. You have some type of documentation to show your taxes were submitted. And remember, for a lot of us, we need to file our federal return and our state return, and they are going in two different directions. Do not file your state return with IRS. Do not file your federal return with your state. That is so common. I fixed a lot of problems where people file both of their tax returns with the same agency. They have no responsibility to forward your tax return to the other agency. So make sure you file with the proper agencies. Now that you know how to file your tax returns, now that you know what's required to file your tax return, and now you know how to properly get your tax return to IRS or to your state revenue department, it's going to be so important that you file on time. April 15th is the tax deadline for individual taxes. March 15th is the tax deadline for what we call our flow-through entities, our FTEs, our LLC returns, our S-Corp returns. Everything else is due April 15th. So you want to make sure you timely file. And if you are not going to timely file, make sure you timely file an extension. Because here's the thing, my friends, once you know better, you have to do better. And you now know what's required for you to file your tax returns on time. And people that are building wealth, they file their tax returns on time every time, and so will you. So just like you're not going to forget to file on time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You got to do all three. because you cannot afford to miss out on any wealth building information.